Hi, it's a Swami back here with NFL Week 10. I am a bit late as the games are starting in just a couple hours, so forgive me, but we'll get moving right away. Last week we got smoked pretty hard, missing 4 out of 5. I was right about the Ravens. They don't lose 2 games in a row, so that was pretty much a gimme. Unfortunately, the rest of the games were, as they like to say these days, a hot mess. I just can't believe how bad it was. I don't even want to talk about it. Let me just say I can't believe that the Bucks lost 38-3. We're not even going to bother with that. We're just going to move right on. It puts us 10-10 overall, so we're actually losing money right now. Not a lot, but that was just a really, really, really bad smoking of the Swami last week. So again, we're just going to move on, and we're going to start right away with the first game we're going to pick. And that game is the Washington football team at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are giving 4.5 points to the football team, and we're going to go with the Lions, which I really hate to do. I just don't like betting on the Lions, period, the end. But I really think that the Washington football team is a disaster, and I don't think they're going to win. Quite simply. I'd like to give you some detailed, but I just think they're a bad team. Now, if I heard correctly, Alex Smith is starting this week. He hasn't started a game in 2-3 years, and you never know. He could light it all up. But I just have a feeling that it's about over for the Washington football team, along with that entire division, which is a nightmare. Personally, I still think that you're looking at 7-8-1 for the winning team. The Eagles, as they win the division, at 7-8-1. We're just going to move right on because there's nothing really to talk about with the Washington football team and the Detroit Lions. So let's move right back onto it, and we'll take on the second game, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. This game is being played in Pittsburgh. I'm actually surprised the line was as small as it was. Steelers favored only by 6.5, and I think that's a gimme. The Steelers, I mean, they're a really good team, but they can't. They should have been up last week by 2 or 3 touchdowns at halftime against Dallas, and they barely won. A team can't keep playing that way. It's just that simple. You can't keep playing where you barely squeak it out at the end against a bad football team. And I think this is going to be it. I mean, if they beat the Bengals, 23-21 on a last-second field goal, I don't think they're going anywhere in the playoffs. I think they have to start showing they're good against bad teams. Now, Burrow has been a pretty good quarterback for Cincinnati, so don't think that this should be a 48-3 game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals put up 3 touchdowns. But the point of the story is the Steelers should put up at least 4 touchdowns. I mean, I would not be surprised seeing a 31-21 type of score, or a 31-20, or something along those, even 31-23. Obviously, I'm picking 31 for the Steelers, but I just have a feeling, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like, I don't think it's going to be, 34-6, but I have a feeling it's going to be a 10-point game at least. So I think the Bengals losing to the Steelers is pretty easy from a money line standpoint, and I think the Steelers will cover the spread, which, it's a 50-50 proposition these days with the Steelers at best. Now, the next one, we have the Seahawks and the Rams. I don't know what's up with the Seahawks. They're supposed to be a pretty good team. Excuse me. Hate when that happens. You can see we don't edit because that will not be removed from this video. So the Rams are only given 2. It's in LA, but Seattle doesn't have to fly very far. I got to take the Seahawks. I don't see them falling apart. I see them being, a good team. I don't think they're going all the way this year. I thought they might have had a chance before this debacle of the last couple weeks, but I think they're going to get back in the winning ways. I think they're going to win this game pretty handily. I mean, in other words, it's not going to be a last-second field goal. They'll probably end up with a win, probably a 27-19 type of score, or 27-20 or something along those lines. I definitely think they're going to win the game, in spite of being the underdog, but I do think it'll be a closer game. And we're not looking at a blowout here. I mean, the Jets aren't playing, so that's, who almost beat the Patriots. I don't want to talk about that. I give up on the Patriots, but we'll talk about them later. But next. Well, as we've sat through all these games, and we're hoping that, big games out of the Lions, the Steelers, and the Seahawks, we have the Ravens at the Patriots. Yes, the Patriots. I don't even know what to say about the Patriots. I say the Ravens are not going to let a bad team beat them. That is the difference between the Steelers and the Ravens this year, in spite of the fact the Ravens have a couple losses. The Steelers can lose to bad teams. The Ravens never lose to bad teams. And the Patriots are a bad team. I'd love to see the Patriots win. I'd love to see the Swami have to come back and say, oops, I missed this one. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Ravens win this one by 2 touchdowns without a problem. Again, bad teams here we're talking about. And last, the Jags at the Packers. The spread is 13.5. And the Swami usually stays away from these crazy 2 touchdown spreads. But after seeing some games recently, I decided that I don't think the Packers are going to blow out the Jaguars. I mean, Kyle Luton, whatever his name was, of the Jags, the kid looked okay last week. I mean, I like where he's going to put up a few touchdowns. And I don't think the Packers are going to turn around and win by, with 42 points or anything crazy like that. So I'm going to go with the Jags covering that 13.5 point spread. And again, the way the Swami's luck has been the last week or two, this could be 41-0 at the halftime, because it's been a little tough in Swami world, as you can see by the overall 10-10 record. The ego is getting shot horribly bad, but that's okay. So we have the Lions minus 4.5 over the Washington football team. We have the Steelers minus 6.5 over the Bengals. We have the Seahawks plus 2 over the Rams. We have the Ravens minus 6.5 over the Patriots. We have the Jags plus 13.5 over the Packers. Hoping for a big week this week after just a horrendous performance last week. A losing week this week puts us below 500, which we certainly don't want that to happen. So wish us luck. Hopefully you guys will place your bets and make your millions. And we'll be back next week with an update on how we did this week and some picks for week 11. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we really do appreciate it. And like our page if you get a chance to do so. And leave some comments on your picks. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate that. And you have a great football Sunday.